Hi everybody and welcome back. This is S.M.C Media TV. I'm Steve and this is...
Yo, it's the one hit wonder kid Richard Young in the building.
Yeah, so it's been a while since we've linked up properly and started filming, so I just wanted to do another video. We're gonna touch base on a couple issues and a couple, check-ups, a little mental check-up kind of clinic thing going on here. But first of all, how you been, Richie, man? It's been a while, man. There's been a lot going on this year, and true said we're not even doing any more amateur boxing videos because there's no boxing really. There's no ring wars. But initially, part of this is an update, and also to add on to certain things what we've done in the first video, yeah. So just give me a little breakdown what's been happening for you regarding boxing training. Where do we stand for that? Is there any news on ring wars?
Yeah. It's been a hard year this year, 2020, with the Corona-19. Training been hardly in the gym because of gyms being closed for how long. We just started to get back into the gym. We were supposed to get an event on by the end of this year, but at the meantime, where we're at right now, it don't look like it. So it's just keeping my fitness up, staying in shape, learning new stuff while I've got the time on my hand, and looking forward to 2021 and getting back in that ring.
One other thing, with regards to boxing and training and so forth, being off and on, how have you coped personally with this pandemic? Because when we done our first video, we done it at more or less quarter way through. It was early doors. It was 4 weeks in it when we done that. When Ring Wars
away from Ring War 10.
Yeah, Ring War 10. When Ring War 10 got cancelled, how has it been for you, partner? Because my opinion from that video has completely changed. A lot has changed for me, for you, for the channel. It has been tough. So we're gonna get into the mental part of it. Yeah, we're gonna touch base on that.
Yeah.
But just give us how you've coped to the pandemic, and where do you see yourself doing this boxing? Are you gonna try something different, move in another direction?
So we was 2 weeks away from my fight, Ring War 10, and we was put in lockdown, so that had a big mental effect on me. It did take me to a dark place because I just done all my training for no reason. I done a good 6 weeks camp, going on 8 weeks. We had an 8-week plan camp, and it did take me back to a point. It did take me to a dark place where I did get back into my bubble, where it did affected me mentally. I just had to look at it on the bright side that it happened for a reason. In the future though, it did make me look at certain things in the future, what I want to be doing outside boxing too. I do still want to be doing boxing. I love doing it. I love getting in the ring and getting hit and hitting next people. Something that just gives me that rush, them ones. So it's something with boxing, but I do want to do projects out of boxing that want to make a change with a lot of things what went on. In 2020 the world has changed a lot of things that came out, them ones, Black Lives Matters, even things like that, just diversity in the world, and only us as people, as we go through it, can make a change. And this is the thing what we need to start looking at. We need to stop looking at trying to better our lives, because we can better our lives, we can upgrade our lives, but it ain't gonna make us happy, because the world what we're living in is unhappy right now. It's a dangerous world and it's a horrible world. So it's for us as the people that want to support the next generation, our future, our kids and all that, to make the change happen in the world, so they don't have to go through the same thing that we've been through our whole life, the ones. So just been focusing on next things that got me out my bubble and got me more focus and back under the loop that I'm happy, I'm in a happy place, them ones. But it did take a big mental effect. The lockdown did, and getting pulled, like the fight getting pulled off 2 weeks before. So yeah.
Do you say you touched on the Black Lives Matter? And I really want to get your opinion where you see that, because obviously the world's gone with this pandemic is kind of like showing the ugly racist prejudice side in the world, and everybody's just sitting for themselves with with the death of George Floyd and how he was killed on tape and all the other injustice. And I'm saying this because you have grew up in a community where majority of the people live down there are black or ethnic or whatever, yeah. So I want to know whether you feel like you experience any prejudice being a white family under black. Like where do you see, what's your opinion on the Black Lives Matter? Do you look at it like all lives matter or white lives matter, or what is your opinion on that?
So my opinion on that is that obviously black lives do matter. Understand that a lot of people will chew your head off just to hear your opinion. Don't want people ask for your opinion, and when you give it, they like to chew your head off. At the end of the day, we're all one. We're all one. I don't know what the difference is, even though I grew up with a block with majority of people being black. When I did branch out, I met Asian people, Indian people. Obviously Birmingham's a multicultural area in a way, in full stop. So you gotta get used to people, the racism and how they done it, and the diversity, how it needs to change. We only can make that change happen, and that's coming together though, as all cultures, and fighting against it. That's all we can do as people, is fight against it. But we need to understand we've got a system of powerful rich people that are gonna keep putting this in the media for it to continue, and it's a nasty circle, and it's been going on for years and years. And let's just hope that this year what came out makes a change, and we can start making the future brighter. With racism, we need to be all accepted on it. Obviously, like you said at one point, how it affected me, because of the way I talk, because the area I grew up in, I grew up with the black culture, and that, the ones people used to call me a wigger. The ones like, I'll come out the area and I'll be like, well gone, oh, he's a wigger. I'll be like, what the hell? I'll just say, well gone, the ones. But that's different, they're not used to somebody like me, and this is why a lot of people don't get me, the ones, in a lot of ways, because they see the way I speak, and then see the way I'm cool and collected, and be like, oh, it's different to the way he speaks. But they just misunderstand us, the ones. I reckon we're in a fruit chain in a way where they got us in the poverty, and that's where we come from, poverty. And majority of poverty people, and it's sad to say as a white person, and I don't want it to be like that, because I think we all need to be equal. Also positive people are black people, and we know from there, at the bottom of the fruit chain, the only thing what will be given to us is selling drugs and guns. And this is why most of the black people get blamed for it, when it's not really. The black people are the criminals for carrying the knife and shooting someone, or getting the drugs and selling it. It's the white people in power who are racist, who got this system unlocked, who know what they're doing, and know that we're gonna fall for it, because it's the only way for us, that we're getting trapped in that circle. And this way it is, we need to break out that circle now and show that we can better ourselves, the ones. And I just hope one day we all can be one, and the racism is done. But to the media keeps hyping it up, I don't reckon it ever be done.
I can't personally see. I've noticed it kind of like more out there, like people are just raw out there. Before it was like subtle. Like I know if someone called me and nigga, they getting their they get boxed off, they get smashed off, and I don't trying to here to come and provoke violence, but when someone disrespect, yes, back again. So we was touching upon the racism thing. So what I would ask Richard is like, do you say he's grew up in a predominant area full of black families that he didn't see the way everybody else is seeing it. So with that said, what will be your message to people who are in them kind of situation where they're in areas with a lot of black and minority families, but people look at them like they should jump on this extreme, like burn down Black Lives Matter. What would you say to them people growing in them areas?
So just learn how to live with people. In a way, is most of them people I say are afraid of the unknown. The ones they don't know what they're getting into with black culture and Black Lives Matters. They don't know. So when they fear something, they start attacking. It's like a cat when you put it in a corner. Them ones to bounce, and this is what they're doing. They're pouncing on a defensive. Them ones they want that Black Lives Matters and that. But if they take a second, just to take a step back and really take a look at the history of what they've been through, just say it speaks volumes for themselves, and have a little heart to take their pain in, they probably will look at it in the next way. So it's for them to take a step back and know that what you're doing is mad. Like all this, I've seen a lot of white people jump on what's with this Black Lives Matter, it's all life matters and all that. I understand all life matters and that, but Black Lives Matters, this it's something me and you, even as a black person, would never understand the pain that is caused. The ones, this goes way back years, and I even have to break it down to people with scientists and geography and all this and what we've been taught. You get me? We all come from the motherland of Africa. We all know Africa was the first country. So let's put it like this: we're all black in a way, but they just don't know it. You get me? Our family trees will tell us down the line. You get me? We're always black. How can you get me? Even if you was white, you was born in Africa. We're all black. We came from the motherland. The ones. Same way I'm Asian too. You get me? If you're born a bullet like that, I don't see like that. But this how these I don't know. For these white people, they just need to take a step back and understand their history and their pain, and not try to always bring it down by jumping on defense and opinions on certain stuff what they don't really know about, to put themselves in their shoes. And that's why it is they need to take a day in their shoes and understand their pain before they understand it, and I don't reckon they will, to open the eyes and give it a chance.
Now, talking about them kind of things here, like this government, this next second wave of lockdown, which for me is I have to be, this year is a write-off. You know what I'm saying? It's a write-off, mentally, financially, every form of way you can say it's affected everybody, especially mental health. So how do you feel this government has dealt with people and this pandemic, and not really like look forward to the aftermath of like mental breakdowns?
Me, honestly, I don't reckon they don't know how to deal with it. They don't know the deepness of daily routines have been broke up. The ones, you got thousands of people out there who's been doing their daily routine for 10 years, and because of this pandemic and lockdown, obviously it's affected them. Obviously they're in a routine that now the routine stopped, they don't know what to do, so it's affected them mentally. I reckon with all the job losses, it's been a hard, horrible, dirty year, and I can't wait to see the back of 2020, to be honest. You know, them ones, it's affected everyone. I know about families who's in jobs and nieces. It's affected my boxing career in a way where I wanted it to go this year. It's like all plans went out the window, you know, them ones. But I just feel like mentally we need to all stick together in a way of need to talk to people and help people more often, and open up about this mental health, what's going around, because I know from my last document what we've done with S.M.C Media TV, and through my experience of going through it, we suffer in silence, and I reckon there are a lot of people out there suffering in silence what we don't know about, and even the government don't know about yet, just because we're not back to normality. So people ain't coming out their house to go to doctors and get help for their mental health, or ringing helplines because they have to go to meetings and all this because of that. So I reckon it's important for them to 100% set up a support online, 100% that they can get one-on-one chats with a counsellor or someone to deal with it, because it is going to take a toll. And to be honest, I don't reckon the government gives two fucks about people with mental health, and that's the honest truth. You know, the ones from people that I know who suffered through the army with it, look at them now, they're living homeless on streets of Birmingham and London and Manchester, and they're fighting 10 years in the country, had a little mental health, got sent home and got dispatched and dismissed, and now their lives on the street, you know, them ones. So they don't really care about mental health, they just say they will, just to keep us quiet for the moment. But then when it comes to the talking and putting the funding into it and helping us, they ain't gonna do it, you know them, they ain't gonna do it, there's no money in that for them. So we just have to see what happens in 2021, you know them ones, because right now 2020 is peak.
Yeah, fuck 2020, yo. Seriously, I don't even know how 2021 is gonna be for real, because for the first time, yeah, I've had bad years, everyone's had a bad year at some point in their life, yeah. And you're like, yeah man, wait till next year, man, it's gonna be different, this is boom, 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 boom. But this year, I don't even class this as a year, it's just one bag of shit after another, like, for me. Now, when we done the part one in the first part of the pandemic, my life before that happened, I had a good job, happy, was in a good relationship, happy, everything was crisp. You know that.
Yeah.
So, pandemic came, well, like, fucking hell, got a couple weeks off work, paint the yard and that, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I did, thinking nothing of mental health or feeling suicidal or talking to people who are suicidal or who are now dead, you know what I mean, who took their lives. So when we done that first video, even though we were talking about the shit you was going through at the time, I couldn't identify with that because I knew you was going through that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm there for my brethren, but I wasn't going through that shit. So when you go through that shit, and I look back at the video, I'm thinking, shit, man, I didn't have nothing to say about feeling that way. So from that video till now, how has your mental health been? How have you teamed yourself up to be like, you know, I could get through it? Because it's been tough, because I can identify with it now. I feel certain type of way about it, you get me?
Yeah, obviously, like I said, mental health is a big issue with me now. Like I said in the last one, I have, like, you know, because you've been through it yourself in your situation this year, you have it like, I have one good day in a week, you know them ones. Yeah, so I have one good day in about a week, you know them ones, and even that ain't even a good day. It's just one of them things you have to keep telling yourself, yeah, get through it and get through it. And it's the most hardest thing to get through, you know, the months in the battle every day. And this is where